Let's go, YouTube! What's good, YouTube? It's that Fantasy Network, and I'm that fantasy guy, and we back with another video. And as usual, you already know, if you not on Underdog, if you've never been on Underdog, you need to get on there, get in some of the best ball leagues as low as like $3. To get in the tournament, there's some tournaments that's $5. $1 million of prizes is up for grabs. And if you put in the code TFN, you can get up to $100 matched with your deposit. Now, speaking of Underdog, have you been, for y'all that have been in the Underdog draft, people are wide receiver crazy. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I don't get like a top 6 pick, I really don't like drafting a wide receiver. Like, I'm getting like 6. I'm getting more sort of 7, 8, 9, 10 picks. And if I'm at the end of the draft, I really rather draft a running back. And it is hard to draft a running back team. And when I tell you, they're going to give you all the good running backs. You're going to get all the good running backs if you decide to go for them, because they're going to be out there. They're going to be out there for the picking. And once you make that decision, you're like, man, I can't take up this value. I got to get it. Eckler, 108. They just what? Not Jonathan Taylor going in a mid-second round. I got to get that too. Next thing you know, it's third round, and then it'll be another running back that drop to you. Or you'll be able to get one of the elite quarterbacks. And if you don't go wide receiver, if you don't force yourself to go wide receiver and you're trying to just follow the value, when you decide to go wide receiver, you're going to realize it's going to be hard to put 3 wide receivers, to find 3 good wide receivers. It's going to be hard. Your wide receivers are going to be looking shaky. Real shaky. There's someone that just posted on Twitter the start off of the draft. This was the first 9 picks, and they went quarterback and like 8 running backs. One, there's no reason to go 8 running backs. That is ludicrous. That is ludicrous. But the running backs was fire. Fire. Let me show it. Let me show it to you. You see that team? See that team? You see them running backs? Fire. Which means his wide receivers are about to be pure trash. That boy would be lucky. He would be lucky to find a wide receiver 3. He would be lucky. Even if you go 4 running backs, maybe get it to a tight end and decide to go wide receivers, you screwed. Your wide receivers are going to be like and that's it's going like that in redraft. I was in an FFPC draft, and they was going crazy at the wide receivers. Like, I was getting good running backs. So since the running backs value just was falling, I got Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, Cam Akers, James Conner. Like, the value was there to grab. I got Jalen Hurts as my quarterback. So, I mean, having Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs as my running backs, I feel good. Being able to flex Akers and James Conner, I feel good. Thank God I didn't have to start 3 wide receivers. It's only 2. And my 2 wide receivers are looking shaky. my look. When I tell you my wide receivers I draft, well, first I'll tell you my tight end, and that's Eric Ingram. This is a weird team. This is definitely an interesting team. My wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy and Michael Thomas. Yeah. Yeah, it go downhill from there. Like when I tell you they was sucking, so right now I'm just trying to find the best. I just start throwing dart throws, trying to find the best wide receiver, 2 I can find, and I drafted Rondale Moore, Nico Collins, Terrence Marshall, Sky Moore, Marvin Mims, Jalen Reed, MVS. Like I just trying to find something. Like I if them running backs don't stay healthy that I got, because they can really anchor me in points. But if them running backs don't stay healthy, if at least 3 of them don't stay healthy the whole year or most of the year, it's gonna be trouble. Trouble. That's one of the 350 leagues, the football guys leagues at the FFPC. So there's nothing but sharks up in there. And unfortunately, I haven't got a chance to do any dynasty drafts this offseason. Like I haven't gotten any new dynasty leagues. This is the first. I usually jump in a safe league, but they didn't start up. They didn't do the annual league they usually do, that you're able to draft auction style before the NFL draft. Like I like to put my money where my mouth is when it comes to studying prospects, and he didn't jump on that. They didn't offer that this year, so that sucked. I think you know what? I did get it. Yeah. I got in the when they didn't have the league available, I did get in the FFPC Dynasty League. I don't know if I recommend those, because those are a little weird. The rosters aren't deep, and you got to cut down your roster at the end of the year. So those are a little weird. So I wouldn't recommend those. Like I'm just trying to get used to playing in them. So I jumped in $100. I jumped in $100 league. Um, and this was before the NFL draft. Before the NFL draft. And my team looks a little weird there. Like it is a team that I would never draft. But I tried to do something new because I wanted to do a win now team. It is a team that I would never draft. Like I've been trying new things over this offseason, things that I'm not used to doing. And of course, this was a snake draft. I really don't like snake dynasty drafts anymore. Like I deal with snake in redraft. And when it comes to dynasty, I don't want to deal with snake. Like I don't want to deal with that. I think without a third round reversal, it's just so OP. You get the first round pick, you could just easily trade back and get profit. Like it's just too easy. It sets you up. It really sets you up with an advantage. You know, it's crazy. Um, so that's why I usually do auction dynasties in the off season. Like just I love the thought of everyone being able to. I love the thought of everyone being able to get their player. That's what I like. That's what I like. But yeah, this dynasty team was rough. When I tell you it's rough, it's rough. It's definitely a win now team. Oh, so A lot of times with dynasty leagues, I go for an edge. So now I remember what I did. Okay. Because I'm just looking at them like, man, why would I draft this team? But I was going for an edge. I made some kind of trade because I was at the end. So I'm at the 12th pick, which I don't mind being at the corner. But what I told you, there is a big disadvantage from someone getting the first pick of the draft, someone getting the 12th pick. It's a big disadvantage. But make it do what it do. I made a trade and I was able to line up 3 picks at the same time, and I knocked out 3 of the top tight ends because it's a tight end premium. So I wanted to capitalize on that and make some people uncomfortable at tight end because some people gonna be uncomfortable. So of course people didn't approach me after the draft about trading my tight end. I'm like, what's the point? Like it would take a lot for me to trade my tight ends that I capitalize on, or that I paid the money to capitalize on, because I know if somebody saw what I was doing, they would have stopped there. So I was able to get 3 picks in a row, and I got Kelsey, Hawkinson, and Mark Andrews. Hey, so I feel good about those 3 tight ends, the tight end premium. So I will be getting points with them. Rest of my team is Watson at the quarterback position and Fields because it is a super flex. I got Aaron Rodgers on the bench. Hey, just in case I need them. Lord, I hope my quarterbacks stay healthy. At the running back position, I got Derrick Henry and AJ Dillon. Um, I have some trash running backs on my bench. The only one worth anything is Kamara, who I might not have access to him for half the year. At my wide receiver position, I don't like wide receivers. And this is a league that I should have forced myself to go wide receiver at, because it's a 3 wide receivers. I got Keenan Allen, Nico Collins, Metcalf, um, and I'm really gonna be digging in the waiver wire for another wide receiver, because on my bench all I have is Wandale Robinson and Cedric Tillman. So it's real rough when it comes to the wide receivers. So I will be trying to make a move for that. And I don't I don't need all I need is production points. That's all I want. So if it's some if it's some trash receivers that putting up production points, I will get them off the waiver wire or send a third for them just for the points, just to keep me afloat. But enough about my bad dynasty teams, because like, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. I'm only hoping the tight end premium points I'll be getting is able to sustain me. We'll see though. We'll see. I think I probably could have went cheaper with the tight ends and got probably Ingram and Wilder, who I think are going to finish pretty high this year, and and not missed out on that many points. Would have went cheaper, but we'll see. It's all a learning experience. That's how I view it. Like, I don't be tripping about the dynasty leagues or any league. Like, guess what? Next year, let's be better. That's how I'm like I got a process, and each year I get information. I am able to better my process. It's real simple for me. That's why I love this fantasy shit. I love this shit, man. I love this shit, man. So I'm jealous of the people that don't have to work. You don't have to really work. If you could do this fantasy all day long, you could just study and I'm not mad at you, whether you're a content creator or you're a high stakes player. I'm not mad at you. Now, since I did talk about one of my trash teams, I will talk about another team that I do have that, that I'm interested to see how this year will go. So the team I had got an auction, I had got Jalen Hurts, I had got Trey Lance. I was high on Trey Lance. It's tough. Tough. Gainwell, Patterson, Penny, Damian Pierce. And I drafted this team before the draft, this on the NFL draft, just to let you know. So these rookies this year, this is the team I drafted last year, before the draft. Trey Sermon, womp, 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 womp. Isaiah Splitter, womp, 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 womp. And Kenneth Walker, which he did well that year, but look what happened this year. Tough. Wide receivers, Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, Sky Moore, MVS, Christian Watson. Tight ends, Mark Andrews. And my tight end was Mark Andrews, and I had some other tight ends. So the ship automatically went downhill when I lost Trey Lance, because I was only rolling with two quarterbacks. I was able to get some production from my running backs. I think until, because I didn't have to wait long for Kenny Walker, and Cordell Patterson was giving me some production. And of course, my wide receivers was putting in work. So Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, them two was putting in work. And I ended up finishing fourth in overall record. And I think I don't remember what happened in playoffs. I was looking for it, but I didn't see it. But so of course I made the playoffs, and the goal was, I made a trade before the playoffs, because I also had Cooper Kupp on my team. That's what I forgot to mention. So I was trying to make a run for the playoffs, so I traded Cooper Kupp and Trey Lance to get, and this is a questionable trade. I wonder how y'all feel about this. I got back Daniel Jones and TJ Hockenson. This is a 2-point tight end premium. Just let you know. Why the receivers, everyone else get the regular 1-point PPR. The receivers get 2-point PPR. So I didn't mind getting Hockenson, because Hockenson was blazing it, and I thought he went to a better situation. And Daniel Jones, I felt decent about Daniel Jones, that at least I'll get a couple more years out of him. Wasn't sure about Trey Lance, and I had so many shares of Trey Lance that I did not mind letting him go. I'm like, deuces, Trey Lance, deuces, So, and Kupp, I was like, yeah, I don't feel good giving away Kupp. But I was like, how many years can he produce on an elite level? So we'll see how bad that trade was this year. If Trey Lance is really going to be the quarterback 3, I feel real good about the trade. Feel really good. I don't feel good about the shares that I own of him, but I feel really good about the trade, if that's the case, because Kupp is like, ain't he around 30 if he haven't hit it yet? I don't know. Yeah. Kupp is 30. When wide receiver hit 30 in Dynasty, it'd be hard to get a good value, as far as trading them. So hopefully trade work out in my favor. So this is year 2. I wasn't able to get much in the draft because I had also traded my first during the process, during the auction process, and my second I traded and got Tom Brady to load up for the playoffs. And now the problem is I had traded Tom. I got that trade before the Daniel Jones trade. I wouldn't have made that trade. Tom Brady, I think I made that trade. I think Hurts was hurt at the time. And I was like, man, I need more than two quarterbacks. And I was like, I'm willing to bet on Tom Brady playing another year. And rough decision I've been making the last year, right? So he retired, and that second round pick went up and smoked. So it's pretty much the same team. If you don't remember what I said, I'll be rolling with Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, Gainwell, Cordell Patterson, Rashard Penny, Damian Pierce, Kenny Walker, Devontae Adams, Hodges, C.D. Lamb, Drake London, Sky Moore, MVS, Christian Watson. At tight end, it'll be Mark Andrews and T.J. Hockenson. So a real interesting team. We'll see how that go. Like I said, I did try to hold it down for wide receivers that, if I did if I did start off rough, weather the storm and try to I'll have that to anchor me. I'll have my wide receivers, pretty good wide receivers, to be able to anchor me, and it won't take me long to rebuild if I need to do a quick rebuild or retooling, because I don't do too many rebuilds. Retooling. So, I'm happy to finally have my first and second for next year, even though I don't think I'm above trading it. I'm gonna try not to, but don't think I'm above trading it. But rough. Last year was a rough. Last year was a rough year for me because of that whole Allen. Because I had a whole lot of hurts, and he was unavailable. I think during a playoff run, it was a game or something. He was unavailable, and I had some teams with Josh Allen, and that whole debacle happened during the fantasy playoffs where that game didn't count. Like, it just last year was rough. Like, I barely broke even when it comes to fantasy. Like, rough year. Hopefully I turn it back around. Like, I don't want to see that kind of year again. But you see my Twitter. Y'all can always hit me up on Twitter if y'all have any questions or y'all want me to go over trades. Check out the shorts. I always do trades up in the shorts. Dynasty trades in 1 minute. I do it in the shorts. Give my opinion on trades, and I'm out.